Welcome to the Lockdown Economy. We are a social non-profit initiative by the think tank AlterContacts to help small businesses and self-employed professionals overcome the challenges of the pandemic and reactivate the economy. My name is Rosie Allison, and our guest today is Dayeeta Roy. She is the founder of a Cheerful Child Foundation, a non-profit organisation created with the aim of enhancing the quality of life of underprivileged children all around the world. Dayeeta, really happy to have you on the Lockdown Economy today. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Thanks, Rosie. Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank you guys for inviting me for this interview. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks a lot.
Brilliant. So tell us a little bit more about a Cheerful Child Foundation and what you do as an organization.
Yeah, so I think it's a little bit like a story. So I myself, when a few years back, actually, I attended one of the lunches that one of my friends was organizing with a similar aim. Yeah, she was doing the lunches also to support underprivileged people in India. And once I was in that lunch, eating the food, I realized three things. One was that with a very small effort from our side, we can really have big impact somewhere else in the world, so it is possible. The second thing is that we do tend to take a lot of things for granted here, and which is not the case in some other part of the world, right? So it might be a luxury there. And the third most important thing is that if you really have the right intent and the right passion for something, you can make it work. So these three things kind of went on in my head quite a lot. And then we started doing the lunches at home, me and my husband, informally kind of. And then 2017, I founded this Cheerful Child Foundation with a friend of mine, Ad Vermeer. So that's when it started to run.
Brilliant, yeah, and I think that's a message that definitely we can use in any business and any organization. If you see that these small things can make a massive difference, that's what drives us all, I think. So a bit more of the details. What exactly do you do? How do you kind of raise the funds, and what do these funds go towards to helping?
Yeah. So I think the main activity that we do here is, like I said, lunches. Yeah, I come from India, and India is famous for, amongst other things, it's famous for its food. So once we decided to cook Indian food and serve it to people, as in our friends here, it became very popular. One, of course, because of the intent or the objective of the lunch. That's, of course, primary, right? The moment we said that we want to help children, more and more people joined. And secondly, I think the fact that we had authentic Indian food on the table, I think it was it was an immediate winner, So we started off with the cooking part. We do quarterly lunches. We invite, because I'm limited by the size of my living room, and it happens at my place. So it's not a renting a hall sort of thing. It's not big. It's really 20 people who can fit into my living room. So we invite 20 people. And then we have the full spread of Indian authentic lunch. People come here in a very cozy, homely atmosphere. And then we eat together, we discuss about the children. I try to share as much as possible about where the funds are going. And they basically pay for the food, so they donate for the food. And with that fund, currently what we are doing is we are supporting the full education of 8 small children in India. And 8 because they are either the son or a daughter of a gardener who works in my place, or maybe the cook. So basically underprivileged children, but then we can monitor them with my family members, my friends, they monitor it. So 8 of those children, that's one. The second big thing is we are also very closely linked now with a school of 107 children. And these 107 children, it brings a smile to my face. I know them by names now. These 107 children, they do not really lack funds for studies because it's a government-sponsored school. So they have the study material is all there. But with our funds, we can get them some luxuries, and for them it's luxury. But for us, it's like a drawing book, for example, or color pencils, which are so much taken for granted here, that is a luxury over there for that school. Or currently what we are doing, it's the summer in India, and summer in India is really, really tough. So giving them ice creams every week, because again, here we take it for granted. You feel hot, you just grab an ice cream and done, right? But those children don't have that. So we are trying to sponsor ice cream every week for those children as well. And then there is a small school of 26 children. And for them also, we are only sort of providing school bags or things that they need, but not really sponsoring their tuition fees. It's more the things, the accessories. So these three things are the core activities that we do. It's a small organization. And as you can realize, the funds are not that it's flowing in. It's a lunch of 20 people. So we are limited in funds, but that's okay. I think that's the USP of the organization as well, that it's very small, it's cozy, and even people who come to eat at our place, they have started identifying and recognizing the children now by their names. So you immediately know where your, I don't know, 20 euros is going. So I think that's what I want to hold on to, even.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see every time you speak about it, your face lights up and you smile, and you can imagine that these little things like giving an ice cream to a child, you can imagine the look on their face as well when I'm speaking to you.
Yeah, and the satisfaction
fantastic.
Satisfaction is beyond any effort that we put in.
Yeah.
And maybe to add to that, Rosie, is what happened recently in the last 1 year, because everything was closed down and all. My family, so my mother-in-law, her sister, my aunts, they're also very good with embroidery. So they used to do it for years, but it never struck me that we can use those for generating some funds as well. So throughout the last year, they made some beautiful shawls with hand embroidered on silk, Indian silk. And I brought them here and I sold them actually. And that profit also goes to the children. And that is a two-way benefit, I think. One, of course, the children get some funds, but the second, also very important benefit is that these senior citizens, they feel as if they are contributing to society again, so they feel very important again. And I have seen the excitement, as in, what did that shawl fetch you? Yeah. Is it enough for buying, ice cream for this week? So it generates a lot of excitement in that community as well. So, so loving it. I'm wearing actually one of those beautiful shawls, if you can see. So so it's about thinking creatively what more can be done to have an impact on these children's lives.
Yeah, and it's great to see that also the activity of doing the charity itself is also benefiting the community, like you said, with the senior citizens, the people who come together for lunches. It's helping other people and also helping the community is a great thing. And we should just be clear, where exactly are you based right now? Where do these activities take place?
So these are all in India. So the schools that I mentioned, most of them are in Calcutta, but the 8 children are scattered all over India. So the main 107 kids school that I mentioned is in Calcutta.
Okay, but the lunches, where is
the lunches are here in Den Haag. So in my place here. Yeah, I live in The Hague. And the lunches happen at my place. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah. So tell us a bit about what happened when, unfortunately, the pandemic struck a year ago now, and I guess it's not possible to have these lunches. Maybe there are also some added complications out in India too with the children in the schools. So what kind of measures did you put in place to overcome some of these challenges?
Yeah. So of course, the lockdown had an impact on this as well, like it had on all of us. So that first big impact is that we had to stop the lunches, and the lunches were kind of run on a quarterly basis. I have a full-time job. My husband had a full-time job. So doing it more frequently was not possible, but we tried our best to do it quarterly or maybe once in 2 months. But like I said, with 20 people in the house and with the rules and everything that came in place during lockdown, this was absolutely not possible, right? So we had to stop the lunches. So therefore, which means that the main source of funds have stopped. The second thing is that maybe it opened up another door, the embroidery that I was talking about, that doesn't need people to collect at my place, right? So I can use social media, and whenever I'm getting one piece done by them, I can share it on social media and I can send it by post. So I think that's the other part which is sort of trickling in, and it can continue. So those are the two things. But the third most important thing is that the children's school in India also stopped, as in they had to close down. and which has a big impact on the life of these children, because it's not only about studies and schooling and all that. That's of course important. But the other thing which Indian government schools have is they have midday meals given out to the children. So they give the food from the government. The food is given out. But if a child doesn't come to school, he or she doesn't get that food, right? And these are all very, very poor families. So either the parents lost their jobs, the child is not getting nutritious food because they don't come to the school. So it's a situation which is, I think, beyond our imagination sitting here, so what I tried to do is we gathered, or we sort of collaborated with a few people there who knows where the children live, so the slum that they come from, and they arranged for rice, for a few basic needs, let's say. They packed them up, and 3 times during last year, with whatever funds we had left, we could go and give the food to these people, to these children. That was one. And then the second thing was we could also give them an energy drink, or a nutrition drink, actually not an energy drink, and buy packs of those, because those come in dry powder form. So, they can just make it and drink it, and they could go and serve it to all those 107 kids. But it's an extremely difficult job, because you need to trust the person who does that. You also need to make time, and it is risky, right? Because people are not going out. So I would want to do more, but considering the limitations and being so far and really relying on people who are doing it there, it is not easy, and it is going slow, let's say.
Yeah, I can imagine. And the pandemic obviously doesn't help this. And I wonder, when you couldn't physically get together with people and to organize things, I guess you're always dealing with the kind of distance between you, where you are in the Netherlands, and the people in India. But what kind of platforms have you used to help with the organization of these things, and also the visibility of your organization during the pandemic? Have you experimented with more online platforms to try and raise awareness?
To be honest, not so much. Not so much. So on one hand, even though I say this is my passion and really want to wake up every morning for this, but with a full-time job, it becomes very difficult to put full time there, right? So there is a bit of a balance between how much time to put in and when. That's one. And the second thing is, again, social media. I always had a page on Facebook. I started putting it on LinkedIn, and it did get noticed, I must say. And I have to say that some funds also came in as donations without the lunch, without the shawls, without the embroidery, just like, Dayeeta, you're doing something good, so let me put in something, so and it grew, actually. So in a way, without even putting in a lot of social networks, I think just by talking about it, and I think it's like a chain reaction. People tend to talk about it when they feel good about something. So if somebody comes to the lunch and they like it and they feel that it's a genuine cause, then they start talking to their friends, right? So it sort of, spreads in a very organic way. And I've seen the benefit of that spreading already. So funds do come in from different corners as well, which is actually very nice, because that's what exactly we want to do. It's all about engaging with more people. So and the more people you can gather actually to do such kind of a thing, or put in such a cause, the more benefit we can have, right? So
Brilliant. And hopefully from this video as well, I'm definitely going to put some links below so that people can get in contact with you and to find out how they can help the really fantastic work that you're doing with Cheerful Child Foundation. So we discussed the difficulties that you've had in the past year with the pandemic, but what's your outlook for the next few months? Fingers crossed, things are opening up a little bit more in the future. Do you have any plans to restart the lunches, to get things going again?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think once the lockdown opens up, and I have had so many requests coming from people, when is the next lunch? Of course, people know that it's not possible, so they appreciate our decision and totally agree with it. But funny thing is, somebody even said, why don't you do a takeaway sort of thing? So you cook it and we come in, we don't enter the house, we just come in and, you know, pick up our food and then keep the funds rolling. And we did have a thought on that, and I'm still thinking about it. So if lockdown continues, why not? You know, why not have it that way? But I would still look forward to have people in my place, because that atmosphere, that ambience which we have on that day, it is very nice. Yeah, I look forward to it. Yeah, so that's one. And the second thing is, I also look forward to my family who's stitching there, vigorously stitching there. I really want them to feel good and be able to bring those back to Netherlands as well, because these are also unique things that they stitch. You know, it's not a very off the store sort of off the shelf buying stuff. It's very unique and it has a cause behind it. I think that makes us more unique. Yeah. So my outlook, my vision is, please, lockdown, vanish as soon as possible and let me start my lunches. Yeah. Absolutely.
Definitely. I think we can all get behind that. And yeah, you're modeling beautifully the shawl there. So if anybody wants to get in touch and to buy one of those, I'm sure you're going to have some interest after this.
Yeah.
So as always, we end on the lockdown economy with the question, usually for business owners, what are the things that you need help with? But of course, this applies also to your nonprofit organization. So if you could give a few things that maybe right now in the current climate you really need help with a Cheerful Child Foundation, what would they be?
Help is, I think I wouldn't call it even help, I would say involvement. I really need people to get involved, because I strongly believe that it's not only me, it has to spread, and then only we can make a difference. Yeah, it's not me helping those 107 children or the 20 people that come and have lunch with me. It's not only us, it's really much more, right? So help wise, I think the more and more people we can involve in it, the better it is. So that's kind of the help that I would love to. And the other thing which I would also want to achieve is, I would love to inspire, because I got the inspiration from somebody, right? I got inspired by a friend. And if I can inspire a few who again starts their own small things, because there is nothing small. Every small thing is actually very big in some other part of the world. So if that inspiration chain can start, I would be I would be the happiest.
Fantastic. I think that's such a great message for us all to remember in this time, that it's been tough here in the Netherlands and in places where we have a lot of great infrastructure. And so you can only imagine what it's been like in places where it's slightly less developed. And so it's really valuable and fantastic work that you're doing. And if anybody who is watching thinks that they can contribute and help Dayeeta with Cheerful Child Foundation, then of course I will be putting some links below that you can get in contact with her. And please like this video, subscribe to the AlterContacts YouTube channel, because in the coming weeks and months, we're going to have many more small business owners sharing their stories with you. Dayeeta, really thank you so much for speaking to us today. You said you wanted to inspire people. I'm definitely inspired, and I hope that other people will be as well. Do you have any final words for anybody who may be watching?
No, I mean, thanks a lot. I mean, this kind of exposure means a lot to us. So wonderful job. Please keep doing it. Yeah, wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dayeeta.